I can't. What's this? These people don't.
Oh, what is that? A cookbook?
It said Iceland on it. I thought it was about Cuba, but it's about some island over there.
I know. Is that where Chili's at?
Kensil culture, puppets, props, puns, podcasts.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to another session of Kensil Culture, the pop culture magazine. And right to my right or left, the directionless Mr. John Kensil. John.
Hey, people, it's Kensil Culture time. Oh, I'll be debuting my tattoo next week. But Halloween just passed. We were talking about Halloween and other things in the news. Which was mentioned to me, John, what was the best Halloween costume you ever saw or did? I entered a Halloween costume contest, and the first year I was in it, the first prize was $2,500 and something else, right? And this is 20 years ago or more. I went as the Three Stooges. I built. Yes. There's Larry, Moe, and Gummo.
You went as all three, John?
Yes, I built 3 mannequin-sized dummies. I mean, 2, one on each side of me.
I'm right here, right. John.
Well, I went as Larry. He's the one in the middle from Philadelphia. And I got paper mache. I made heads. I painted them with flesh-colored skin. I made a Moe and a Curly, and they're fully animatronic. Like, they move with me like that guy does the Jackson 5 with the sticks. But when I raised my arms, both arms would move, and I spent weeks building this with costumes and everything, and it looked fantastic. And moving I did, and you couldn't see the braces I made, like the brackets.
And right? Everybody said, woo, 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 woo,
right?
Woo, woo.
So I go to the Woodbine. It was a club in New Jersey where WMMR had the contest, and there were some good costumes there. One guy went as Ben Frankenstein. And he had a...
That's pretty cool.
Oh, but
I love when they morph.
Well, he looked like Frankenstein with Ben Franklin hair and glasses, but he was 10 feet tall. He had like stilts on. Really good. And this is one thing I hate too about, especially comedy contests too, right? I wish they would judge like a real judge, not a popularity contest, right? So I went... And I thought, the people at the station were taking a picture with me. They're all excited over it. They go, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Greatest costume I've ever seen. First prize was $2,500. Second prize was some like a week in the Bahamas or Bermudas. And the third prize was, who makes the Omaha Steaks? For like $50 gift certificate. So they go, I got people were cheering, clapping for me when you parade around like the little dance floor, show it.
The Three Stooges.
Ben Frankenstein, who actually I've seen him at like 5 different contests. Like he was a ringer.
Yeah.
But the winner was, this is how long ago it was. Remember the Jamaican Bobsled Team?
Right? Oh yeah. They actually made a movie on it called
Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings.
With John Candy, one of his last films.
And it seems so funny that a place like Jamaica that's sunny and marijuana all the time should have.
It was based on a real incident. Well, these 4 a-holes came in a water heater box, like a 6-foot cardboard box, and they all had dreadlocks on and big fake joints and sunglasses. And they're all mimicking like a Jamaican, hi mom, what's going on? I can't do it. Hey mom, turn people into chickens, zombies, pot, right? And they came in, and that's all their costume was. 4 guys in a water heater box with dread, and it said, written on a Sharpie marker, Jamaican Bobsled Team. Well, all their friends voted for them. I spent 6 weeks building this costume and painting it and stuff. They won. Ben Frankenstein came in second. And I won $50 in Omaha Steaks.
That's not bad.
Right? So the next year, but I was with my girlfriend too. You know how embarrassing it was? I had a Larry Fine wig on, and I had to get glue it to your face so it looked real. The mo and the curly head looked really good. So the next year, I'm like, all right, this is what you want. So I went to another contest. It was $1,000 first prize. I went as a car crash victim, and I went all out. I went to a junkyard and I got a steering wheel. I didn't go as I went as a victim, not the car crash dummy. Yeah, right. And but look at that. That's the dummy. I went as a victim. I had a torn apart face, and I got a steering column.
Why are you always the victim, John?
Right. I play the victim. I get sympathy. That's how I get laid. I got the steering column. When you drive a car, it's called a steering wheel.
Okay.
Well, that big pole is called the column. You know,
right.
I had it sticking out my back. I had a fake windshield in front of me, as if I went to the windshield and got impaled by it. Oh, like a zombie, all the torn up face, right?
You really went out on
right? Because I want to win the contest, right? And I had a suit. It would look great, and the steering wheel spun on my back. All right, so I did it, and a girl. All right, it was it was friends voting.
Right.
The local bar pig.
Yeah, always.
She came in as Michael Myers. She had a blue jumpsuit on and the white Michael Myers mask that she bought. And she won the $1,000 prize, and I won like a 6-pack of Miller Lite. It just really irked me. So the next year.
Show business and the Halloween costumes are never fair, John.
No.
You have to understand that people will always have an ulterior motive not to vote for you.
Like right now, I'm going as the guy from Phantasm. Boy.
Michael Baldwin.
So the next year, I went, this is how long ago it was. There's a very popular, controversial talk show host named Morton Downey Jr.
Okay.
Right? His father had a hit with like that song Peg on My Heart or Danny Boy.
His father was an actual singer with a lot of big hits, Irish stuff, okay, when the Irish population was real big. But Morton Downey had radio shows. He was admired by people like Frank Sinatra. And his son turned out Morton Downey Jr. That's why he had that.
His son was an ugly guy with warts on his face and black hair. And he had a controversial talk show where he'd bring guests on, just call them idiots.
I love the guy.
And get on my show.
Greatest. Yeah, he was very. That's why the culture is like it is today.
Well, at the time though, it was a very popular syndicated show.
Right.
Like it was I think it was syndicated by people who did this show you did with Bill Boggs, the Comedy Tonight Show.
Okay.
Right. So I go dress as him, and I look just like him. I put bags on my eyes and warts on my face. And for the idiots out there, I had a big name tag. Hello, my name is Morton Downey Jr. I had a cigarette. He had a black suit and a red tie, and you look like this.
Yeah.
All right. And I go to the contest. I don't know. Doesn't anybody on TV? No one knew who I was. My friend went as the Swamp Thing. Right?
Okay, everybody knows who the Swamp Thing is.
Right.
You know, Morton Downey.
Well, and my friend went all out. He got like weeds and dried them. And in the military, it's called like a ghillie suit. They call it. It's like a sniper uses it because he looks like he's covered. It looks like a sheepdog covered in weeds.
It has all different. It's almost 3D camouflage.
Yes, but it's all weeds. Like well, at the time, it was a very popular show. 2 movies, Swamp Thing. Heather Locklear was in one. Right. So he goes and I don't know. It doesn't mean you have to be deep in the pop culture. But the Swamp Thing and Morton Downey Jr. were popular people at the time, right? It wasn't like something hidden, right? So
the dance card's always changing, John. There's always somebody a little bit more famous and a little bit less famous.
Well, the guy running it,
right?
My friend won the contest, and the guy goes, "Yeah." My friend Eddie, who's with the right, he goes, "Yeah, he wins. And the winner is the Swamp Guy from Mars." Right, and like it's Swamp Thing, and my friend he really went out for a costume, and he stunk too. I think it was like animal bedding, but so I wanted celebrities, but we were just talking before the show about a lot of celebrities just passed away recently.
Oh yeah,
Suzanne Somers with the Thigh Master. Yeah. She battled.
If she becomes back as a ghost, that you can exorcise her. She talked on talk shows. I didn't know that she knew that she was that she had the big C for a long time.
23 years.
She actually wrote a book about how to adapt to having the big C. and how to, still be as beautiful as
She
she
had a big
was.
C, so her babies fell out of her. Oh, you mean the disease? I'm sorry.
Oh,
I thought you were being social.
no, that's I'm a victim of Sicilian, no, she was but she knew for a long time, and she was kind of ageless because of that wonderful tape that she made with her ex-husband.
She was attractive, and it's weird too. She's one of the first. I saw a video where she thought when she got out of the Three's Company contract,
right?
She withheld because she wanted more money, right? And
Right.
she thought she was standing up for women's rights, and she actually laughs about it. She goes, "So I told them, I'm a big part of the show. I was the number one female star on the show that time, even though it was at the same time like Farrah Fawcett was on there too, and so she didn't go in for taping." And they fired her. They fired two other big blousy blondes. But she died. She had the thigh master. That was the thing between your legs like that.
Oh, she made a lot of money on that. I
saw a lot of morons. There was another thing at the same time called an ab flex. That was that thing you do sit-ups with.
Right.
But it was a shame she died, but it finally spread to her brain. She died recently at 76. She died a day before her 77th birthday.
What? That's so weird that people die so close to their birthday. That always makes. It's always like I like it when it's like 3 days after or something like that. But to give them one last happy birthday.
Another guy who just died. Now almost the whole main cast have died on the show. Is the show Night Court with Harry Anderson?
Oh yeah.
Well, in the past year, last year, Marky Post died. Charlie Robinson died, who was the African-American bailiff. In 2018 is when the star of the show died. What's his name? The magician. Harry Anderson died.
Harry Anderson.
He had several strokes, and he moved to New Orleans, and he was all set, real happy about building. He wanted a comedy and magic club like the one in California, and he loved that Southern Gothic stuff. He was all excited for it, and that's when the big flood hit New Orleans and washed
Katrina.
the place. And washed the place out. So, but he died in Asheville, North Carolina. He had a house down there. But he had several strokes. But last week, it's the same.
I had actually met Harry Anderson with Grover Silcox, a great local comic, and I think we were at the Comedy Factory outlet on that little alley, and it was after shows because I was working down the street. So he introduced me to Harry Anderson, and we proceeded to get very drunk. Okay, and and when he would come back to town, I'd go, drinking with him, take him down the street or something like that. But I had one thing that he needed a toy boat. So, because he used to go do the magic thing, and he would tell people, "Well, mix the deck," and then the person, "Well, mix the deck," and then he would go and he'd take the boat. And then he'd have like an egg beater on there, and he'd go mix the deck. Right. So I was the one who found him the boat. But he was a very nice man and very knowledgeable about a lot of literature and other things.
He mentioned Grover Silcox. Harry Anderson did a couple specials, and our friend Grover, the comedian, helped write them. I think he got an Emmy Award. And there's a place that might be famous in mythology, but when you really go to it, it's not as great as they say it is. But you'll tell people, "Oh, I like to go there," and in real life, it's expensive and it's dull and it's not as good as they say it is. But it's supposed to be. It's a site in Philadelphia called the Mütter Museum, right? I went there like twice, and no. But you think, "Oh my God, they have 2-headed baby skeletons." It's dull, and it's like 35 hours again. Anyway, Harry Anderson did a comedy show there before he died, but he came to Philadelphia and Grover was on the show with him. They did a special performance there because he was magic and comedy. But so last week,
I love the Mütter Museum, and John, I'm sorry that you found it boring. Because,
I was sober when I went to it.
Well, I didn't get to go to one thing that you got to go to this weekend.
Oh, wait, wait.
The Mütter Museum is actually a museum of medical oddities through the ages, and it'll show you, just like John said, a 2-headed skeleton, people that had,
constipation, that got the giant colon.
Yeah, and not even a semicolon. But and it would show you like Civil War instruments that the doctors would use in there. But I found it very interesting where John,
Well, I love this. I have the books on medical oddities, and I just it didn't do it for me. But another guy died from Night Court last week. Richard Moll died.
Oh,
right?
no.
He died. I have the puppet. They had a puppet on the show, and they sold the puppet, and I got one. But
I remember that puppet. Yeah. That was because he was he was one of the first celebrities on TV with a completely bald head, wasn't he?
He was the bailiff, Bull, the bailiff, and he was 6'8" in height, and he was like real intimidating, but like a lovable lunkhead on the show. He died last week at the age of 80. And I always thought he was going to make an appearance on the new Night Court, but he died. And now I never saw. Like we just mentioned something too. I'm not anti-popularity because I hate things are popular, but Matthew Perry died from Friends.
Never saw one episode. Never saw one episode. Of course, I'm not. I know how popular it was, and I know that it. But once I heard that cheery song in the beginning, I would turn or click nowadays.
I'm totally on Wid's side. I like Cheers because it was an ensemble cast. Right. But then I don't care about yuppie New Yorkers.
Yeah, it was a little bit out of our. I hate to say it, wheelhouse.
Yeah, but the show was on from like 1993 till 2004.
Yeah,
it was gigantic and it's still huge now. It's on. It's one of the most syndicated. Like other shows aren't on anymore. Everybody loves Raymond, King of Queens, and other real popular shows. Friends is on Netflix. It's Friends and Seinfeld, and Friends has fans across the England and the world. Love it. He put a book out last year where he, broke down said the seasons on the show when he was real skinny was when he was hooked on Vicodin, and when he was heavy, he had like double chin a couple seasons. That's when he was hooked on alcohol. But I just read too that he was getting $20 million a year, and that show's been off since 2004, almost 20 years. $20 million a year in residuals from that show. So he was totally rolling in the dough. But he just died last week.
I love the National Enquirer, and I love things like, what's the TLM or
TMZ.
TMZ. And, I love the gossip about the celebrities. And he had a lot of, gossip around him. But you know what? He never got really obnoxious about it. Or he never, you never caught him, disturbing people at a theater or, or going out and protesting and saying things or being too drunk. But so I never, I knew who he was, because they override that popularity just because they are on a show.
Yep.
And so people like myself who've never seen the show, I know who he is. Yeah. I know his problems. Yeah. I know his things. But I always thought that the Greek girl was always kind of cute.
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah. And, I had no idea about her, but I thought that she looked like she was a middle-aged woman when she was young.
She always looked
now she looks like a middle-aged woman.
She looks like a hostess at a Hooters or something like that, too. I agree with you. Like, he should have done. He should have left California and moved back to Canada. You can't be in that town if you have addiction problems. But, weird, this little mini episode is up, too.
All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we want you to subscribe. Is that where they put it? We want you to subscribe to Kensil Culture right over here. Okay, that's and we want you to have a good time out there. And myself and my partner right here, Mr. John Kensil, say good night and have a good time.